These are the voyages of SV Prism. The crew on board are searching for exotic landscapes and foreign cultures as they sail their 33-foot sailboat beyond horizons. So this is what I call perfect Mexico sailing. As you can see behind me, it's not roaring. It's probably blowing 8 knots maybe. Got the drifter up, main up. Boat's very level. Doing about 4 or 5 knots right now. Just cruising, just super mellow, going on our way to Isla San Francisco. And just can't ask for much better. Yeah, coming right off basically our beam. Maybe just slightly to the quarter, but just awesome. This is kind of what you hope for when you go sailing in Mexico, is this kind of weather. We're getting it, so it's super gorgeous. Super gorgeous.
Blissful.
Pretty good sailing, huh?
Yeah. Oh, this is my favorite type of sailing. Under 10 knots, just enough to keep the boat moving. Could use some animal life though. This spot right here.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Pretty nice.
As we closed the distance to Isla San Francisco, the small breeze we had stayed with us. Usually, boats like ours are considered slow and terrible in light wind conditions, but we keep Prism moving with ease with the help of a clean bottom, large light wind sails, and a feathering prop. We have figured out that most boats that are considered slow are truly not, unless improperly designed. Usually the skippers are not flying enough canvas and blame it on boat design, which is rarely the case.
Here's our bag of money. No, I turned it on. Uh-oh. That really does just look like a floating thing of foam. I was hoping it was a cooler full of drug money. We could retire.
So we made it to Isla San Francisco. It is really pretty in here. I mean, we have a gorgeous sunset happening behind me, but there are a crap ton of people in here, which is not a bad thing actually, because it's been a while since Shannon and I really have seen many other people, because we've been hunkered down in that gorgeous little cove in Espiritu Santos with only one other boat around us. It's nice to actually have some different neighbors. But
do you see that? Do you see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's have another drink.
Isla San Francisco is one of the most famous islands in the Sea of Cortez, mainly due to its large Crescent Bay that has been featured in almost every travel magazine. It is quite normal to see a fair amount of boats in the anchorage. Its close proximity to La Paz and Laredo make it a perfect stopover anchorage for boats traveling between the two cities. The weather during the winter season in the Sea of Cortez is simply stunning. With temperatures under 90 degrees and small clouds to help keep you cool, this is a hard place to leave. Traces of off-spray nests are evident around this solar-powered navigational light tower. These birds of prey can be seen and heard in almost every anchorage and are incredible to observe. The Isla San Francisco view that is so famous is only visible from helicopter or by a ridgeback trail that encompasses half the island. As we continued our climb, we found the motivation to keep us going. As the higher we got, the more breathtaking the views became. From our higher vantage point, we could see the Northeast Bay, which, if you're not interested in a crowded anchorage and the weather is calm, offers an alternative place to stay the night. Once you get to the top of the ridgeback, it's great to be able to look at the cove on your left, and then there's also the immense view of the sea to your right. After a few moments, John spotted the shot and got to work. With a quick lens swap and a check of his focus, he mashed the record button and panned the camera. The white sand beaches being the buffer between the aqua blue water and the red rock cliffs was an awesome sight to see. Looking down at the cove, we could see Prism riding at anchor. It's always rewarding to get to these amazing overlooks and see your boat, the thing that got you there in the first place, and it's staring back at you, almost giving you a wink and saying, "Good job, you made it." I really like this trail, and once you get up to the top, the breeze is enough to cool you down. Boat was driving me a little nuts, but I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. This morning it was blowing a little rougher, so the seas didn't look as nice. But it completely calmed down for us on our hike, so it's shooting really well. The trail continues around the edge of the bay, each overlook being different and spectacular in their own way. As the day progressed, we started to get more clouds, cooling us off and letting us conserve the last of our water. At times, the trail does get a little sketchy, where areas have let go or boulders have fallen into the path, leaving the hiker to find a new way around. We finished up our hike and made our way back to the boat. Winter here is quite fascinating, and small rainstorms are not an unlikely occurrence. There is something enchanting about the way rain looks in the desert. We enjoyed sitting and watching as the slowly meandering cell would pass us and continue on to other places. The blue turquoise water reminded us of our past bareboat charters in the Caribbean. To be in these waters with our own boat is very satisfying. It is important to take advantage of your time in these places. Many cruisers we know will go to an anchorage, maybe go to shore once, but then sit in their boats working on projects or watching movies, until they pick up the anchor and move on. A lot of these cruisers, when asked, are very let down by the cruising experience, and it's not hard to know why. We do projects and watch movies as well, but when things are pretty, you must seize the moment. good to fill your days with activities that put you out in the environment that you've worked so hard to get to in the first place. Believe it or not, when you live on your cruising boat, you're not just on a permanent vacation. Some of the pretty places will not feel as exotic as they really are because you've spent so much time around them. It's not until afterwards that you realize how special these places are. When talking to other cruisers, it's interesting to hear the different and oftentimes negative experiences at anchorages, ones that we've been to as well. We think a lot of this has to do with going out and enjoying the location. The universal issue is usually time, so make sure if you go cruising, you give yourself enough time to enjoy, or these spots you have visited might feel very empty when looking back. After spending a week at Isla San Francisco, we decided to move on. With our light wind sails up, we coasted downwind, wing on wing comfortably. We passed a little community on Isla Coyote, but because of the favorable wind, we continued right on down to Isla San Jose. San Jose offers a huge protected bay with an amazing mangrove lagoon that we were looking forward to exploring on our new paddleboards. We were able to harness the wind all the way into our anchor spot, where we practice anchoring under sail. This is a great skill to have, and to practice when everything is working, because once something breaks, you'll be glad to have had the practice. We have had to anchor under sail since then because of a fouled prop, and we were grateful we had practiced as often as we could before. With the sails down and the anchor set, we got on the paddleboards and we were off. The tide was ebbing, so we knew our chances of being able to paddle into the lagoon were slim. With a 4-knot current rushing out, we decided to take a rest, to go back to the boat and try again the following day. We got back to the boat and it was time to catch dinner. In the Sea of Cortez, if you like fish, triggerfish is quite good and easy to catch. It would take about 30 minutes at most to catch a big enough trigger for dinner. With the good fishing and a well-working water maker, we were able to stretch our 1 month of supplies by almost 2 months. The next morning, we jumped over to San Evaristo because of a bug assault of epic proportions. We had been warned by other cruisers, our guidebooks, and even John Steinbeck that Isla San Jose is known for no-see-ums, locally known as hey-hey-nays. These little biting flies are about the size of a pencil tip, but leave a crazy itching bite that lasts for days or weeks.
Raise your arm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's itchy. Let's just say like that. It literally feels like my clothes are made out of fiberglass. That's the best description. On top of the feet where the sandals were, I could not wear sandals today. It was like hell. Hate it.
Next time on SV Prism. We sail on to Napolo, where Prism is surrounded by tall cliffs, black sand, and clear waters. Then we catch another southerly and head to Timbache, where the ruins of a grand house lie and where we learn about its interesting history. Then it is off to Los Gatos, a place famous for its red rock and great beachcombing. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to our channel. Then you can be the first to see our episodes as they come out. If you want to see Prism continue to sail and to capture the journey, go to our Patreon website and become a patron. We are also looking for more music for our videos. So if you are, or know any musicians that want some exposure, get them to contact us. If you want to see where we are currently, go to svprism.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, fair winds and following seas.